What's up guys, this is Jorge from Information Systems, and in this video I'm going to show you how to install Windows 10 on VirtualBox. Well, maybe you have a different operating system like Mac or maybe Linux and you want to install Windows 10 to test it or to try it, or maybe you are a developer or a coder or you want to do some testing with Windows and you are already using Windows 10 but you don't want to break your Windows. So in that case, this video is for you. I'm going to tell you a bit about me. I have been dealing with operating systems, with hardware, with computers like for forever, for 30 or 35 years, and I've been teaching computer science as a teacher for 15 years. So I have had several problems with operating system, installing, customizing, setting the things up, all those things. I have had a lot of problems, so I want you to avoid all those problems. That's what my YouTube channel is about, Information Systems. I want you to give you tips, tricks, hacks, and shortcuts in order to deal with computers, dealing with operating systems, dealing with programs, dealing with hardware, so you can achieve all your goals with your computer and you don't have problems. So if you like all those type of things, please don't forget to subscribe to my channel and click on the notification bell in order to get the future videos that I upload. So let's begin. Well, how to install Windows using VirtualBox or a virtual machine. First thing we have to do is to know which things we are going to need, what you will need in order to install Windows 10 on a virtual machine. The first thing you need is a real computer, okay? Your real computer that you can touch with a real operating system working. So for example, in my case, as you can see, I have a Mac. The real computer is a Mac and my operating system is Mac OS. So maybe you can have a laptop with Windows or a laptop with Linux or a MacBook Pro with Mac, whatever is your case. You already need a real computer and an operating system already working. The second thing you are going to need is a virtual computer with a virtual operating system. We're going to see what is that, and we're going to use VirtualBox, that is the software that is going to virtualize and to create a virtual computer inside your real computer, and in that virtual computer you can install Windows 10. And the last thing you need is an ISO file with Windows 10, so you can install this ISO file has the installation files of Windows, so you are going to need all this, okay? So I'm sharing my screen with you, and the first thing you are going to need is VirtualBox, okay? I'm going to leave you in the description of this video all the links that you are going to need in order to install Windows 10 on a virtual machine. So the first thing is going to VirtualBox, and you are going to download VirtualBox. I've already done that, but if you click here, download VirtualBox, as you can see, you need to know which type of operating system has your real computer. In my case, is an OS, an operating system because OS X, because it's a Mac. If you have a Windows, you have to click on Windows host, and if you have Linux, on Linux distributions, okay? I've already downloaded this. You click here and you download this file that I've already done it, okay? The second thing you're going to need is the ISO file in order to install Windows, okay? The ISO file is a file that you can use in a real computer in order to create one, or as a DVD, to burn a DVD that normally you don't have DVD burners today, or two, you can burn in a flash drive, in a pen drive, in a USB flash drive. You can copy that ISO file in a special way. So when you burn that ISO file in a USB drive with a program that formats your USB flash drive in a special way, that flash drive is going to be bootable, okay? So you can insert that USB flash drive in your computer, and it's going to boot. It's going to start from that USB flash drive, not from your hard drive, okay? But because we are not installing Windows 10 in a real computer, we're installing Windows 10 in a virtual machine, we don't need to do anything with that ISO file. We only need to download the ISO file, okay? So we're going to the Microsoft homepage, and I'm going to leave you all those links here, and you need to download this, okay? The download Windows 10 disk ISO file. You select the edition, Windows 10, you confirm, and you download. I've already done that. It's like 5 or 6 gigabytes. So I have everything here, okay, on my computer. Here I have VirtualBox, and here I have the Windows 10 ISO file, okay? So the first thing you need to do is to install VirtualBox. I'm going to do that. In my case, as I'm telling you, I have a Mac, but if you have Windows, it's the same, and if you have Linux, it's the same, okay? So first thing we're going to do, and double click this icon, okay? And it's going to install VirtualBox, okay? I'm going to minimize this, sorry. Continue, VirtualBox for Mac, perfect. Install is going to ask my password, my computer password, in order to install this. If you have Windows, it's going to tell you that you have an administrator user in order to install VirtualBox. So finish, it's done, okay? I'm going to move to move the installation files, that's it. Okay, so now if I click here and I search on my computer for VirtualBox, the VirtualBox application is going to open. I have here the VirtualBox application already open. Perfect. So the second thing I need to do is to create a virtual machine. A virtual machine is like a virtual computer that is going to use your real computer resources. Okay, so I have a computer, as you can see here. This is a Mac, but I'm going to create a virtual computer inside it, like a fake computer inside the real one. Okay, so I'm going to click on Add, VirtualBox, Add. Sorry, New. We have to click on New, okay, to create a virtual machine. So I'm going to write the name of the machine, Windows 10. Here is the path we're going to save. It's a good idea that you click Other, and you click here, for example, in Documents, you create a folder, Virtual Machines, in order that you know where this virtual machine is going to be, okay? So here I have Users, Documents, Virtual Machine, is a Windows 10, perfect. Continue. This is the RAM memory that you are going to give to your virtual machine. Windows 10 needs, like, if you're using 64-bit Windows 10, that is normally the thing that you're going to use, you need 2 gigabytes of RAM, and it's recommended 4, okay? So I'm going to give 4, sorry, it's 496, okay, 4096 megabytes is 4 gigabytes, okay? If you have more, you can give it more. You can use 8. For example, in my case, I have 32 gigabytes of RAM in my real computer, so I can give more, but let's begin with this, okay? Now we're going to create a virtual hard drive that is going to use the resources of your real hard drive, okay? So I'm going to click here, create virtual disk, VDI, and dynamically, okay? Because in that way, I have created a 50 gigabytes hard drive, but maybe I'm only using 20, so the virtual machine is going to occupy only 20 gigabytes of space of my real hard drive, not 50 from the beginning, okay? So it's better dynamic, and we're going to save it here in the folder that we have created before. We click create, perfect, and now we have like a computer, a virtual computer inside my real computer. Now I have to, in that computer, it's new, it's clean, it's fresh, so it doesn't have any operating system inside. We're going to install it. So for that, we are going to simulate that we enter a flash drive with Windows, with the Windows installation file, or a DVD with the Windows installation file. That's why I need this file, okay, this ISO file that we have downloaded from Microsoft, from the Microsoft web page, okay? So we're going to click here on Settings on the virtual machine, and we're going to go to Storage, and here I have my my virtual hard drive, and here I have like a virtual DVD reader, okay, DVD-ROM. So we're going to click here in this icon, like a CD or a DVD, and choose this file, and we're going to look for the ISO file that we have. For example, I have in my downloads folder. I'm going to use it to select open, and as you can see now, it's like we are inserting in the DVD reader a DVD with Windows, okay, with the Windows installation CD or DVD. We click OK, and now we're going to start the machine, the virtual machine, with the ISO, with the Windows 10 ISO inside. Let's click Start, and it's asking me, do you want to select this ISO file? I say yes. Start, and now the Windows 10 installation is going to begin. Okay, I'm going to open this. Okay, this is a bit small because my computer is really big, the screen, so this is a bit small, but we're going to change that later. Well, as you can see, practically I cannot see here because I have an iMac of 27 inches and the initial resolution of Windows is smaller. So you can click here on VirtualBox. You have several settings here, like the CD, RAM, USB, and here on the screen you can click virtual screen, and I'm going to scale it into 300%, so this way you can see it better. Okay, so language, English, United Kingdom is okay. That this is depending on the ISO file that you have downloaded. So let's click on next. Or keyboard, depending if you are in the UK, in the US, in Europe, maybe you speak Spanish, French, German, you have to select here. I'm going to leave it this way. Next. And you have two options here with Windows: install now or repair your computer. We are going to select install now, and the installation of Windows is going to begin. Okay, I'm going to pause it. Okay, I'm pausing and resuming the video because you know that installation sometimes takes some minutes, and this way you're going to see only the important screens. Okay, so here if you have a serial number of Windows, you can put it here, and if you don't have a serial number, you can maybe you are testing and you don't have a serial number, you can click I don't have a product key here. And now you're going to select the operating system that you want: Windows 10 Home, Windows 10 Education, Windows 10 Pro. You have several options here, as you can see. And I'm going to select Windows 10 Pro, okay? Because in the future, maybe I will do some videos using Windows Server, and in order to connect a Windows client with Windows 10, you need the Pro version, not the Home version, okay? So let's select Windows 10 Pro. Let's click on next. We accept the terms. Next. And here you have the two options: upgrade, that is if you have a Windows 7 or Windows 8 operating system before and you want to upgrade that operating system into Windows 10, but our case is a clean install, okay, a new operating system. We don't have any operating system in our virtual machine, so we're going to click here where it says custom install Windows. And here we have the virtual hard drive that, as you can see, we created of 50 gigabytes. And here you can create new partitions, you can format them, you can extend them, delete them, but we're not going to do any of that. We're going to click next, and when you click next, what is going to do the Windows installation ISO file is going to create two partitions here: a small partitions of the Windows recovery environment that is 500 megabytes, and a second partition with the rest, with in this case 49.5 gigabytes, and where it's going to install Windows. Okay, so let's click next, and you are not going to see a confirmation prompt, so be careful with this, because when you click next, it's going to create a new partition, format and install everything. Okay, so be careful with this if you are doing this in a real operating system. We click next and it's going to begin to install Windows. Okay, I'm going to pause the video again. Okay, it has finished some steps of the Windows installation, and if you have an internet connection, now maybe it's going to begin to install things from Windows Update. And as you can see, it has finished and it's going to restart the virtual machine. Okay, let's wait. And this is like now you don't have to press anything, because if you press a key, it's going to enter the ISO file, the DVD, and it's going to begin the installation. But we have already done that, so we don't touch anything. And the installation continues. Okay, now it does like a second restart. We don't touch anything. We'll eject the DVD, the ISO file later. And now we see just a moment. Okay, now is Windows 10 is asking for your region. Okay, I don't know, maybe it's okay. You have to check this. So I'm going to click United States, for example, in order to modify this. We click yes. Now with the keyboard it's okay, United Kingdom, I'm going to leave it that way. Okay, I'm going to say yes. But yes, yes. You can change that later. Do you want to add a second keyboard layout? Okay, let's add a second one. For example, imagine that you want to write in Spanish. Okay, let's click here. Let's go to the S, Spanish, for example, wait, let's check Spanish here. Okay, Spanish Spain, international sort. Let's click next. Spanish, perfect. The second layout. Now it's finishing the installation. Now it's checking the network and other stuff in order to get internet connection, the virtual machine and the new Windows 10 that we are installing. That sound that you can hear is my Mac like roaring, because when you create a virtual machine and you install it, the real computer is going to work, and at the same way I'm recording this video and editing and that, so it's the Mac is working hard. Okay, now how would you like to set up for personal use? Normally, if you have an organization, maybe a company or maybe a university, a high school, whatever, you can use this, okay? And this is normally when you have a domain Windows domain that you have a Windows server installed in other machines, okay? But we don't have that, so set up for personal use. Okay, let's click next. Okay, and now Windows 10 is asking you if you want to log in into Windows with a Microsoft account. That Microsoft account has several domains like Microsoft.com, Outlook.com, Live.com, Hotmail.com, Xbox. It has several accounts, and even you can create a Microsoft account with a domain that is not from Microsoft, maybe from Gmail. But I'm going to tell offline account, okay? Offline account, because I want to enter with a local account, okay? It's telling me that if you want the Microsoft apps, you have to create a Microsoft account, but I'm going to tell that I want a limited experience, okay? Because I want to enter with a local account. If you want if you want to use a Microsoft account, that's perfect. Okay, who's going to use this PC? For example, I'm going to write here a student. Okay, I'm going to click next, and the password, I'm going to write a password. Okay, next. Okay. Confirm password. Okay, sorry, that's the password. Remember that you are in a real computer and a virtual computer, so you have to change, okay? You have to write the password twice. Okay, I think I did something wrong. Password didn't match. Okay, I had some problems with the password that you have to write it twice, and after you write the password twice properly, it's going to ask you 3 security questions, things like I don't know, what's your first name, what was your childhood nickname, what is blah blah blah. Okay, so I'm going to write them down. I'm going to pause it. Okay, after those questions, Windows is going to ask you things about privacy. Okay, you have the options here. I'm going to leave them by default and click accept. And if you want this activity history, I'm going to click yes. These are options. Do you want to use Cortana? I'm going to say yes. These are things that you can change later on Windows when it's working, so don't worry about that. And now it's finally finishing the final touches. Okay, and finally we have Windows 10 installed on a virtual machine. Now you can see it here in my case on Mac, so it's working, so perfect. And now we're going to do some customization, some personalization, some settings that you have to do in your virtual machine, and I recommend you to do them. Okay, so the first thing is that you eject, that you take off you check out the DVD, the virtual DVD, the ISO file. Okay, so how do we do that? We're here and here on the machine, here on devices, we are on the VirtualBox. Okay, here in the menu, devices, we go to optical drive, and as you can see, it's inserted the ISO file, the DVD, the fake DVD. Okay, so we're going to unselect that. Okay, and now it's not inside. Okay, you can see it here. If you open on Windows, you open File Explorer. you can also eject that from this PC here, okay? And now the CD drive is empty. Perfect. We're going to install VirtualBox guest additions. That is another layer of the guest addition software in order to integrate in a much better situation, in a much better way, your real computer and your virtual computer, okay? So we're going again in VirtualBox into devices, and we're going to click insert guest CD, okay? And you can see it's here, it has inserted. We're going to open that and run this program to install it, okay? We're going to click yes, we're going to install that, and we're going to click next, install all by default, and it's going to install, I trust, and now it's going to ask me to reboot my virtual machine, okay, finish, reboot now. It's going to reboot my virtual machine. I'm going to see if the computer is still with, okay, I'm going to unscale it, okay? I'm going to put it like a small. Do you remember this problem from the beginning of the video? Okay, so I'm going to put this virtual screen is not a scale, it's unscale, okay, perfect. And now we're going to see if the guest additions has helped us in order to have a better situation with that, okay? I'm going to open this. Let's check this. It's great. Need to log in. I use Windows. It seems that it's not working. Let's check this. Now, okay, perfect. Now it's working. We have to click on the view menu and leave a scale mode, okay? A scale mode. Hey, sorry about that. It's here. And now if you do this with your Windows 10 virtual machine, is working much better. Do you see this? That's much better. That's because of the things that we have installed, the VirtualBox guest additions. Okay, the thing we have to do is to eject this CD that we have insert. It's here, so we click on this PC, File Explorer, this PC, right click and eject. Now it's outside. Perfect. Okay, maybe let's see if we have internet connection in the virtual machine. Okay, let's check that. So the first thing you have to do, you can do, is to open Microsoft Edge, and we're going to click Google. Sorry. Okay, perfect, it's working. So we have internet connection. Perfect. That's because I'm at home, but maybe you are installing this virtual machine in your class, in your high school, at the university, or maybe in your company, and you don't have a direct internet connection. Maybe you have proxies, maybe you have you are in a local area network. So I'm going to show you some things. Sorry, I'm going to minimize this so this doesn't bother us. So I'm going to show you how you can do that. Okay, if you have to install a virtual machine inside a local area network. Okay, I'm going to close this. So the first thing you have to do is go to Devices, Network, and Network Settings. Okay, and here, as you can see, it says attach to NAT. In this case, normally if you are in a corporate environment, it's going to work, but I prefer to use bridge adapter. And now you have to say which real adapter you are using from your real computer. Okay, so I have Ethernet and I have Wi-Fi. I'm connected to the Wi-Fi, But if you're in a university or high school, maybe you have to click here Ethernet, okay? And you are going to click OK. Say okay, yes. So we go to, I'm going to cancel this. So we go to devices, we go to network settings, and here where it say attached to NAT, we're going to see bridge, and we're going to normally to correct Ethernet, okay? You click OK, and when you do that, after that you are going to change your IP, okay, on Windows. So here, if you have a fixed IP, we're going to go to the control panel, okay, inside Windows, in order to change our IP, okay? We go to network and internet, network and settings center, and here on the left, change after settings, and here on your virtual network adapter, you're going to click properties, right click or properties, internet protocol version 4 properties, and you're going to click use the following IP address, and you're going to write, I don't know, for example, if you have a private IP, you're using a private IP, maybe you're using this, I don't know, and maybe this, okay? Here you're going to write the default gateway, that maybe is this one. It's not my case because I'm at home, but maybe in an office or a school or high school, you're going to do this. And here you can write, I don't know, the Google DNS servers, okay? So we write this, and you click OK. I'm not going to do this because I'm at home. I'm connected directly to the internet, but if you are in a corporate environment and you have proxies and default gateways and things like that, maybe you need to do this, okay? We need to cancel. Other thing that maybe you are going to need to do is to disable the Windows firewall, okay? Why? Because maybe if you are in the high school, check firewall status, you need to do some pings or do some network stuff. So we're going to turn Windows firewall on or off, and we're going to turn off for private and public networks, okay? So this way you can do testings and things like that, okay? If you don't want to disable, you enable it, and here again, change Windows Defender firewall on off, we can turn on, and that's it, okay? Which other things we can do? Okay, maybe if you are using this with the Windows virtual machine is inside a Windows real machine, maybe you have to disable the Windows firewall in the real machine, okay, in the host machine. Later, after doing that, maybe you need to do a ping, okay? If you're in a corporate environment, you're going to open command prompt in your virtual machine, and you're going to ping, I don't know, maybe that default gateway that you have set up before. Sorry, this was this IP. You're going to ping this. I'm not going to do it, but maybe you need to ping that in order to check if the network is working, okay? Imagine that you are using a proxy, okay? You have to set up a proxy. You are in a high school or a university or in a company. You're going to click here, proxy settings, and here you're going to scroll, and here where it says manual proxy setup, use a proxy server, you're going to click on, and maybe the proxy server has this IP and uses this port, I don't know, it's an example, you're going to click that and scroll, save, okay? You can click this if you want, save, and that way you're going to use a proxy. I'm not going to do that because, as I'm telling you, I'm at home. And that's it. Maybe other thing that you want to do in the virtual machine is installing new applications, okay? For example, maybe you like you don't like Microsoft Edge as a web browser and you want Chrome, okay? So you can go here and search for Chrome on Google or on Bing and download it. Maybe you like Mozilla Firefox, you can install Firefox, and I'm going to do it, but you can do it also, okay? Okay, other interesting things that we can customize with our virtual machine is this. We're going to the devices menu, And the first thing we're going to do is to enable sharing the clipboard. Okay, as you can see, it's disabled, and we're going to see bidirectional. Okay, what is this? The clipboard is that part of the memory where when we copy and paste, the things are copied in the clipboard. Okay, so I'm going to open here so you can see it, Notepad, for example, and I'm going to write hello from virtual. Okay, and I'm going to I'm going to select this, and I'm going to edit, copy. Okay, and I'm going to my to my real computer, to my Mac, and I have opened here a notepad, like a notepad. Okay, and I'm going to say paste, and as you can see, it's working perfect, copying in the keyboard. And I'm going to do the opposite. Okay, hello from real. I'm going to copy, and I'm going to open the virtual machine again, and I'm going to delete this, and I'm going to say edit, paste, hello from real. So it's working. Now you can copy things from, using the clipboard between your real computer and your virtual computer, your virtual machine. Okay, other thing that we can do is, okay, I'm going to save this, fail save. I'm going to write on the desktop. Okay, file name, hello virtual. I'm going to save it. I'm going to close it. Here I have here the file. Okay, so other thing that we can do in devices is drag and drop, enable drag and drop. Okay, that it's drag and dropping things between the real machine and the virtual machine and vice versa. Okay, so I'm going to click here on bidirectional. Wait, maybe you can see it. I'm going to close this, sorry. Delete. Okay, so you go to devices, drag and drop, and bidirectional, and now we're going to test it. Okay, so I have a file here. I'm going to try to drag and drop between the real and the virtual and the real machine, and it worked. Okay, and if I open it, it's working, and I'm going to change the name real to the file, and I'm going to do that the opposite way, and it's working perfect. It's working. Now you can drag and drop files, maybe MP3 files, music files, photos, movies, to install programs, whatever, you can drag and drop in. Okay, here, that's amazing. I'm going to delete this. And the other things that we are going to do, the last thing we're going to do is to here sorry, we're going to go to the virtual machine, devices, share folders. Okay, we're going to share a folder between the real machine and the virtual machine. Okay, so for this, I'm going to open here, for example, on downloads. Okay, I'm going to create like a share folder, share real folder. Okay, in my real computer. Okay, now here in the share folders of the virtual machine, I'm going to click here on this icon when it's a folder and a plus sign, and you have to find that folder from the real computer. We select other, and here downloads, share real folder, and auto mount. Okay, read only no, because I want maybe to write things there, and make permanent if you want to make that share folder permanent when you restart your virtual machine. I'm going to click OK and OK. Okay, so I'm going to create something here, for example this ISO file that we have used. I'm going to put it inside here, okay, inside this folder. And the virtual machine, where is this folder? Okay, you can find it with the file explorer, and here this PC, you can see network location share real folder. Do you see that? I'm going to open this, and this is my virtual machine accessing my real machine's hard drive. As you can see, I have an ISO file here that is the same as here Do you see this? So it worked perfectly. You can now transfer things in a different way, or maybe you can share real folders to your virtual machine to install things, to streaming, to music, or to watching movies, whatever. Okay. Now the last thing, I hope the last thing, or the I'm not sure. Other thing that you can do is here on this PC. Okay, I'm going to, on your virtual machine, I'm going to click manage. Okay, and it's going to open this computer management console, and we're going to click on storage this management. Okay, and now you can see all the partitions that we have. Okay, I'm going to move this here. Sorry, I'm going to do this bigger so you can watch it bigger. Okay, so as you can see, I have this Windows partition. I'm going to click on properties, and I'm going to name it OS plus apps. Sorry about this. It's not working. It's not working my keyboard. Don't worry, because it's a virtual machine. Okay, OS apps and apps. Sorry. Okay, perfect. I recommend you that you have two partitions in your Windows machine. In this case, it's a virtual machine, but in a real machine, the same. So you're going to have a one partition for the operating system and the programs / applications, and a second partition for your data. Okay, your files, movies, pictures, documents, PDFs, docs, whatever. Okay, I only have this partition, so I'm going to shrink this partition, shrink volume, and for example, let's do this way. You can put the amount of space that you want to shrink. It's going to sit in, and it's going to leave that way because this is a test machine. I'm going to click shrink, and now it's going to shrink. Okay, so this is the OS and apps partition, and I'm going to create a new partition here, new simple volume. We click next with all the space that we have now. This letter, for example, and here we're going to write data, file system, and TFS, the Windows file system. Finish, and now we have another partition. You can see it here. Wait, you can see it here. If I minimize this, as you can see, I have a partition for the OS operating system and apps, another partition for data. Okay, if you don't want the letters, we can change this. Wait, let me check here. We can change this. I'm going to change the letter of the CD-ROM. Change the letter. Change. I'm going to choose another one. For example, F. Okay. Yes. And now I'm going to change the letter of the data partition to D. Okay, so we have D. Okay, yes, and now the CD-ROM letter E, so all of them are in order. Change E. Okay, yes. And now if we go to File Explorer, to this PC, we have first partition C for OS and apps, for Windows and the apps or programs. Second partition D for data, for your PDFs, documents, personal files, and E for CD-ROM. Okay. And finally, this is the final step. I promise. We're going to take a snapshot because we have, number one, install Windows 10, and number two, we have configured, we have personalized, we have customized, and that's a lot of work. Okay, we've been here some minutes, and that's a lot of work. So we're going to do in the machine, we're going to click machine, and we're going to say take a snapshot. Okay, machine, take a snapshot, and I'm going to say post installation, for example. Okay, we're going to click OK, and now on VirtualBox is going to create a snapshot that is like a picture of your Windows 10, your virtual machine in this moment after installation and after configuration. Okay, so if you click here in VirtualBox, you can see snapshots, and I have post-installation current state. So if my virtual machine, I don't know, 6 months in the future breaks, my virtual machine with Windows 10 breaks, I can go back to this snapshot, to this post-installation, and it's going to work like today. Okay, perfect. So I hope this video has been useful. It's been a lot of things, we've covered a lot of things, and I hope you have enjoyed it. So if you have enjoyed, please subscribe to my channel, and if you have any doubts, any comments, any questions, please leave a comment here. I'll try to answer of your questions. And thank you for, if you have seen all this video, for sure you love Windows and you love a virtual machine. So thanks for watching, and I see you on the next video. Bye bye.